that meal on toast.
So it's versatile and tasty. And because it's a high fat content, it's going to feel very luxurious.
So if you wanted, Nicole, to perhaps eat fewer avocados, what could you replace them with? What would give you a similar level of nutrients?
Well, first of all, I'm going to say portion size for avocados is the first thing you need to think about, because if we're trying to reduce amounts and keep it so that it still can be enjoyed, but look at the portions. People usually have a whole avocado. Actually, a portion is maybe quarter an avocado to a half. It's not a lot.
It's not a lot, is it?
It really isn't. So there's the first way that we could sort of curb things a little bit, and then keep the environmental issues in mind so that we are looking at having a variety of foods. So alternatives, olive oil, that's closer to home, and it has the same mono oils. The good part of the avocado is that you've got a mono oil, an unsaturated fat, so that's good for replacing for butters and the high cream foods. So instead, olive oil and rapeseed oil, which is grown here. So those would be your easy alternatives to do.
Patrick, in terms of the demand and a huge demand, this mass growth in calls for avocado, what impact has that had on farmers? I mean, it's good for business, but can they keep up?
Well, here's an interesting factoid. At the beginning of the 20th century, 80% of our dietary fat intake came from animal fats and 20% from plant fats. And of course, now the situation has been reversed, with everybody perceiving plant fats not only to be better for you, but better for the environment. But think about where all those plant fats are coming from. Palm oil, trashing the Indonesian rainforest. Soy oil, genetically modified from North and South America. And of course now, avocado, which is perceived as a healthy food, and we're not arguing that, but actually it's not produced in a sustainable way, and perhaps it would be better to consider the hard-pressed livestock farmers who are suffering because of the decline in markets for animal products, when actually butter, lard and red meat grown from ruminants whose emissions are offset by the carbon-building property of the grass that they eat are actually very healthy and much more sustainable.
It's not just Western diets, is it? I was reading that there's now a large Chinese export market for avocados as well.
The Chinese food trends have changed just in the same way that Western ones have, but the Chinese are realising that the environmental impact of their unsustainable practices is so great they're going to have to do something about it. So we're all in the same boat here. They're asking the same question: what should I eat to be healthy and sustainable? And the answer is not as simple as you think. This trend towards plant fats coming from other countries needs to be rethought, and the role of sustainably managed livestock products could be more prominent in our future diets.
Nicole, we were talking about replacing avocado and other things with oil and etc. And Patrick's suggesting eating more locally, eating a bigger variety of fruit and vegetables. At this time of year, as he says, it is the time when there are so many local fruit and vegetables out there on the market, but a lot of people still just don't have access to them, do they? It's very hard for a lot of people to eat locally, to eat sustainably, and to eat affordably.
Actually, affordable is when the food is closer. So when we do look at the seasonal products that are grown here, the prices should be coming down. And the awareness that we're raising today is that we do have problems across the planet. So we do need to start thinking the way we eat, the way we think and the way we choose. That will change the market, that will change how we have supplies. And I would encourage, yes, that we do get foods from the UK. We can still produce quite a lot of our foods, and that would be the way to still get variety and get seasonal food that brings variety over the course of the year as well.
In terms of the awareness, Patrick, I mean, you mentioned a shift towards a more plant-based diet and the environmental implications of that. But there is some growing awareness, isn't there? Some cafes are actually stopping serving avocados, saying that we're going to take a stand on this. We are going to only serve local food, and we are going to do our bit.
Yes, I think particularly amongst young people, there's an awareness that we we need to connect our diets to sustainable and local production wherever possible. Of course, with tea, coffee and things like that all of us want to continue to consume, it's a different issue. But where the foods can be grown in this country, we should be loyal to them first. It's a food security issue, it's a health issue, it's an environmental issue. And by our actions, we can change the future of farming and make it more sustainable. And don't forget the animal fats produced on grass. They are extremely healthy, and our poor livestock producers who are mainly feeding their animals grass are suffering at the moment while we export our consumption to foreign countries which are causing problems, as I said, with the rainforest and soil degradation to produce these plant fats.
Patrick, Nicole, thank you both very much indeed. I don't know about you, but it's maybe a bit hungry.
A little bit peckish, yeah. They don't do avocado in the cafe here.
No, they don't. Probably a good thing.
Do spinach though. There you go.
Locally sourced.
Well done.
You're watching Sunrise.